night was as ordinary as any other as I stepped into WingStreet, the prestigious restaurant that had been a part of my life for the past 5 years. Nestled in the heart of the city, it was known for its exquisite cuisine, impeccable service, and a charming atmosphere that seemed to transcend time. However, there was a darker side to this establishment that only a few of us who worked there knew about. I had always been a diligent employee, working as a server. It was a job that paid my bills, but it was also a job that came with a price. You see, WingStreet had a reputation for having an eeriness to it, an ambiance that set it apart from any other restaurant in town. As I walked through the grand double doors that led to the dining area, the sensation of impending doom hung in the air like a heavy fog. The restaurant had been around for decades, passed down through generations. The walls were adorned with black and white photos of the original owners and their staff. The portraits seemed to watch over us, their stern eyes following our every move. They say that the first owner, Samuel Wingate, had made a deal with the devil to ensure the restaurant's success, and that curse had been passed down through the ages. My first encounter with the darkness that lurked within these walls happened on my 3rd day at WingStreet. It was a slow night, and I was tasked with cleaning the wine glasses at the bar. As I meticulously polished the crystal, I heard a whisper, faint and indistinct. I turned around, expecting to find a colleague, but the bar was empty. I shrugged it off as my imagination and continued my work. However, as the weeks turned into months, the whispers became more frequent. They were never clear, just soft, ghostly murmurings that seemed to come from the very walls of the restaurant. I couldn't make out what they were saying, but I could feel the weight of their words. It was as if the building itself held secrets that it desperately wanted to share. One evening, as I was serving a couple at a candlelit table, I saw it. A shadowy figure, flickering in the corner of my eye, standing at the entrance to the kitchen. My heart raced as I turned my head to get a better look, but it was gone, vanished like smoke. I dismissed it as a trick of the dim lighting, but deep down, I knew it was something more. As time passed, I became increasingly obsessed with the whispers and the elusive figure. I began staying late after my shifts, sneaking into the restaurant when it was empty, hoping to catch a glimpse of whatever haunted the place. Each night, I was met with disappointment until one fateful evening when my persistence paid off. It was well past midnight, and the restaurant was shrouded in darkness. I entered through the back door, my heart pounding in my chest. The whispers were louder now, a cacophony of voices that seemed to come from every direction. I followed their eerie chorus, my footsteps echoing through the empty dining area. As I neared the kitchen, the temperature dropped, and I could see my breath in the frigid air. The door to the kitchen creaked open, and I stepped inside. There, in the dim light of the industrial refrigerator, I saw it again, the shadowy figure, more defined this time. It was the silhouette of a man, hunched over and shrouded in darkness. "Who are you?" I whispered, my voice trembling. The figure didn't respond. Instead, it turned and glided deeper into the kitchen, disappearing into the shadows. I followed, my curiosity overpowering my fear. The whispers grew louder, and I could finally make out their words. They were snippets of conversations, laughter, and sorrow, as if the very walls of the restaurant were replaying the memories of those who had dined here over the years. I followed the figure through the labyrinthine kitchen, past rows of stainless steel countertops and shelves filled with pots and pans. It led me to a narrow staircase that descended into the basement. The air grew colder with each step, and I could feel the weight of history pressing down on me. At the bottom of the stairs, I found myself in a dimly lit cellar filled with dusty wine barrels and crates of supplies. The figure stood in the center of the room, its back to me. I could see its shoulders trembling, as if it were weeping silently. "Who are you?" I asked again, my voice shaking. Slowly, the figure turned to face me, and I gasped in horror. It was a reflection of myself, but distorted and twisted, as if I were looking at a grotesque funhouse mirror version of me. "I am you, the Fifth," its voice echoing through the cellar. I stumbled back, my heart pounding. I didn't understand. How could this be? The figure moved closer, its eyes filled with anguish. "You sought the truth, and now you have found it," it whispered. "You are trapped here, just as I am." I tried to run, but my legs wouldn't obey. The whispers grew louder, drowning out my thoughts. The walls of the cellar seemed to close in around me, and I felt as though I were being pulled into the very fabric of the restaurant itself. In that moment, I realized the truth. WingStreet was not just a restaurant. It was a living, breathing entity, fed by the souls of those who worked there. The curse that had been passed down through the generations was real, and I had become a part of it. I woke up the next morning in my own bed, drenched in sweat. It had all been a dream, a nightmare born from my obsession with the restaurant's dark history. I tried to dismiss it as a trick of my overactive imagination, but something had changed. The whispers, once soft and indistinct, now echoed in my mind, a constant, maddening presence. I returned to work that evening, determined to put the nightmare behind me. The restaurant appeared as it always had, bathed in warm, inviting light. But I couldn't escape the feeling that something was different, that the darkness that had plagued my dreams had seeped into the very walls of WingStreet. As I served the evening's guests, I noticed a change in their demeanor. They seemed distant, their eyes vacant, as if they were lost in their own thoughts. The whispers in my mind grew louder, and I could hear them now, clear and distinct. "Stay," they urged. "Join us." I shook my head, trying to clear my thoughts, but it was no use. The darkness was closing in, and I knew I couldn't escape it. I had become a part of the restaurant's cursed history, destined to serve it for all eternity. And so, I continued to work at WingStreet, trapped in a never-ending cycle of serving guests who are not what they seem. The whispers have become my constant companions, a reminder of the darkness that lurks within the restaurant's walls. As for the shadowy figure that I saw in the cellar, I now realize that it was not a reflection of myself, but a reflection of my future, a future that is bound to this place, just as I am. WingStreet may appear to be a prestigious restaurant, but beneath its charming facade lies a sinister truth, a truth that I can never escape. So, if you ever find yourself dining at WingStreet, beware the whispers and beware the shadows. You may find yourself ensnared in a nightmare from which there is no awakening, just as I have.